Welcome back to Indomitable with Dom, the podcast for people who refuse to stay stuck. If you've ever clung so tight to control that you started to lose yourself, if you were handed broken patterns and thought they were protection, this episode is for you. Because today, I'm telling you about the moment I realized control was never strength, it was survival dressed up like leadership. I thought control meant strength. That as long as I could manage my wife, my kids, my house, I was doing what a man was supposed to do. But it wasn't strength, it was trauma. It was fear. It was a lie, handed to me by the one person I was trying not to become. It started in childhood. I didn't wake up one day and decide to control people. I learned it from my mom. She ran the house, the narrative, the emotional thermostat. And if you wanted peace, you played your part. Even if that part was silence. Even if it meant pitting brother against brother, son against father, truth against loyalty. I didn't know it was control. I thought it was just love with rules. But years later, sitting in my living room, just talking with my wife about my brother, it hit me like a wave I didn't see coming. We were just talking. I had told her about a time I went up to my little brother's high school, how I handed him my contact info, and how when my mom found out, she chewed me out. And in that moment, years later, it all clicked. She had pit us against one another. All of us, for years. And I carried that same pattern into my own home. And I burst into tears because I realized I wasn't leading my family. I was managing them. I wanted full control of everything. How they spoke, dressed, behaved, smiled. Even my kids. I wanted them to love me more than their mother. Not because I hated her, but because deep down, I didn't feel like I measured up. I believed that she was a better parent. And instead of dealing with that insecurity, I tried to dominate the dynamic. Not to hurt anyone, but because I thought winning their affection meant I was doing something right. But all I was doing was repeating everything that broke me as a child. I was parenting from fear, not love. Trying to manufacture love, trying to force what I never really received. I acted out of emotional, just like a child throwing a temper tantrum. Angry, unseen, desperate to feel valued. And it almost destroyed everything. We were on the brink of divorce. And I still couldn't see that the grip that I had on my home was the very thing choking the life out of it. Here's what I know now. Control doesn't protect what you love. It punishes what you fear. I thought I was leading, but I was just scared. Scared of being left. Scared of being unchosen. Scared of being like her. And trying to avoid her, I became her. Until the night I came clean. I told my wife everything. Every failure, every lie, every part I tried to hide. And she didn't leave. That was the first time I ever felt real peace. Not because everything was fixed, but because I wasn't faking anymore. That was the moment I met grace. I prayed for the first time. Really prayed. And God didn't meet me with a lecture. He met me with this truth. You were never called to control. You were called to lead, and I do the fixing. That moment broke something off of me because I realized I had mistaken control for faithfulness. And what God was asking for was surrender. So let me ask you, where are you trying to play God right now? Who are you gripping too tightly? What outcome are you trying to manufacture? Because the more you control, the more you lose. But the moment you surrender, you find peace. So here are 3 small but powerful shifts that helped me. Number 1, I stopped gripping my family. I let my wife and kids be themselves, and I loved them as they are, not as I wish them to be. Number 2, I let go of performance-based faith. I stopped thinking I had to earn God's love and started receiving it freely. Number 3, I stopped leading to impress and started leading to serve, because real leadership doesn't need applause, it needs presence. Here's what this looked like in real life. I stopped micromanaging my home. I apologized to my wife and kids without conditions. I stayed away from being right for a while. I started asking God how He wanted me to run my home. It wasn't easy, but peace started growing where pressure used to live. The grip that almost cost me everything was never love, it was fear. And when I let go, that's when I finally saw my family, not as pieces to control, but as people to lead. God didn't give me authority to dominate, He gave me a home to serve. And now I lead by surrender, because peace is what makes a man, not power. I want you to sit with this scripture. He makes me lay down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. That's Psalm 23, 2 and 3. If this episode brought clarity to your own story, pass it on to someone who's been leading with control instead of peace. Follow the show. Be on the lookout for your free guide, 7 Steps to Overcome Your Mind. Until next time, keep growing, keep fighting, and stay indomitable.